Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Before and Afterthought with your shooter, as always, Queen KZK. On this special episode of Before and Afterthought, in this half an hour podcast, I'm going to go over Raw, SmackDown, on our road. And when I say on our road to Money in the Bank, is because we're a little bit backed up with everything happening. We've had Raw, we've had SmackDown, we had a little bit of NXT, we've had Money in the Bank. We're on our road to Detroit and SummerSlam, and we had WWE Live, Super Showdown, a little bit of A&W, Father's Day, 4th of July. You name it all, just busybodies going all over the place here with holidays and wrestling and superstars and shows and all this other things. It feels like I'm rambling, but it is true. It's damn true. Oh hell yeah! Like Stone Cold Steve Austin, a little mixture of Kurt Angle would say, "Oh yeah, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go today." So in this podcast, reason why I said that is because I'm gonna do 3 podcasts today. This half an hour podcast is on the road to Money in the Bank, just so we're clear fly to what's happening, what's going on. And if thank you guys who've already been watching and liking and subscribing on Instagram and YouTube. I really thank you and I really appreciate that what I'm doing for you guys obviously is exciting you to come back and get some more. And so I'm inviting the rest of you to not only watch but like, subscribe on Instagram and YouTube at Queen Crazy K for things like this. This is a half an hour podcast on a road to Money in the Bank, and I will do 2 more later on today at Money in the Bank and after the Money in the Bank. And where we at? Where are we officially today, July 12th of 2023? So you know what's happening, what's going on. I normally would do either a singles podcast weekly. Sometimes I put double knockout podcasts, 2 episodes combined together for the last 2 weeks. And sometimes I even do a little triple threat that comes along with it for an hour and a half at least. And if it lasts longer, because I get rambling, I get talking, I get into it real good, that it lasts a little bit longer than that. As long as it reaches that mark, it's all good. So sometimes it's even that. This one, I thought, well, I'll just break it up into halves because we got a lot happening, a lot going on. And with it Wednesday, the middle of the week, by now you should be woken up. You got a lot of things going on your plate. So right now we're gonna do that. So you clarified, you know what's happening, you know what's going on. It's July 12th of 2023 that I'm dropping this episode and this half an hour podcast, but it is referring to a few weeks ago on the road to Money in the Bank. Be sure to watch, like, follow, and subscribe on Instagram and YouTube, as well as you're processing through that details in your head of what's going on. Also get that in your head too. And thank you guys who've already been doing it. So let's jump in this podcast as we clear that up. Right now we're gonna start off with Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the real men out there taking care of their kids. And this is the WWE superstars that I put together for this video. So here we go. Check it out. It's a mixture of WWE Super Showdown Live as well. So Austin Theory, Austin Theory remaining. He is the youngest WWE champion in history. He is a 2-time United States champion. He is a youngest Mr. Money in the Bank in WWE history, and he is the longest United States champion in WWE history, Mr. A-Town, Austin Theory. That was on some WWE Live, WWE Super Showdown. Celtic Warrior, former World Heavyweight Champion, on his way to becoming a United States champion against Theory, but didn't turn out so well this right now. But I've had some unfinished business, going round and rounds with the Pretty Deadly. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Sami Zayn going from they've been NXT champion, they've been Raw and SmackDown tag champions, WWE champion, Intercontinental champion. Between the two of them, best friends, half of Raw and SmackDown tag team champions, dominated on Friday Night SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. And we also had, like I said, longest reigning United States champion WWE history, Mr. A-Town Austin Theory. Roman Reigns undefeated Universal Champion for 3 years, and until Jey Uso, you saw Jimmy on there, and Jey come along to break that streak. Now Jey is the new tribal chief. So you see what I was talking about in there about Austin Theory, Sheamus, and all that. Now back then and now it's leading up to one of the youngest WWE champion in history, two-time United States champion, Mr. Money in the Bank, youngest in WWE history, and now the longest reigning United States champion is Mr. A-Town Austin Theory. In case you didn't hear me, that's exactly what I was referring to with me and the music combined together. You probably heard it because this mic is awesome, but at the pro. But I just wanted to get it out there because I am a fan of Austin Theory. I mean, he's beaten legendaries like John Cena, Edge, Rey Mysterio, and did it at WrestleMania. One of he is running as United States champion on SmackDown. It is A-Town on SmackDown with Austin Theory. I got the pleasure of seeing him dominate as United States champion over in Kansas. Probably maybe back in March. Yeah, that was back in March maybe. So got the pleasure of doing that not too long ago, and still rolling today as such. And then you have Sheamus Osama, our host of Celtic Warrior Workout World, former World Heavyweight Champion, and been dominant with the Brolin Brothers. But with Pretty Deadly, who, since they came from NXT, I mean, they stirred it up with Butchnov. They won a match over them. They've been in the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championship. They've been on the Grayson Brown Show. They've been on After the Bell, and they've been on commentary, throwing down with the Street Profits and also getting the best of them. So whether you like them or you don't, it is a strategy that the Pretty Deadly is a Pretty Deadly team for a reason, and there's no denying that. So you can't go from that. I for one agree with someone dominant like the Usos. That's who I'm with, but you have to say it out the facts too. I just wanted to put that out there. That was between WWE Live and WWE Super Showdown of those two, and then Floppy Father's Day that I put on there that you saw. So this is just it's a little fun video, right? You gotta have fun. You gotta have excitement in what's going on. It can't always be serious. You gotta have fun and still dominate at the same time. Like the New Day. A New Day is always a positivity day, right? And they always partying and having fun and still dominating with the boys. The New Day, one of the longest, had Biggie Langston, that former WWE champion, Mr. Money in the Bank, was on the path after the bell. And then you got Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, former WWE champion Kofi Kingston, and their tag team champions as well. And now Xavier Woods hosting Up Down Down for those of us who play 2K20. So there was probably every WWE fan knows what the hell it is and plays it. I mean, come on, how can you be a fan without playing its game? Or it's like saying without reading its shirt or a cup that you see over there that I've shown you guys before. So this, just fun. Had nothing to do with wrestling. Sound like I'm Snoop Dogg. Just rattle about a damn sausage. Just for fun. I just thought that was real funny to put that up there. This is my raw fallen predictions. And Trish Stratus did qualify to the Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch did get the best of Trish Stratus in the Money in the Bank match. World Heavy Champion Seth freaking Rollins, baby, all over Finn Balor. You buy cards like that, go on the Peacock, WWE Network, whatever you have to do. Now it's called the Peacock from the WWE Network, and buy things like this. Seth freaking Rollins, baby. You don't even have to buy this. It's free. All you gotta do is put your name and your address in. Go. I've been doing my name and address on Instagram. Boom. I don't even use it. I just wanted it because it has Seth freaking Rollins on it to collect it. Totally free. There's always Monday Night Rollins on Monday Night Rollins as World Heavyweight Champion. I can go on and on about Seth Rollins. Follow, subscribe, Instagram, YouTube. Don't just alert. Did you get that? You got that. Now we're going to talk about the 35 years. 35 years of a Hall of Famer, a legendary, an athlete superstar who's been tangling with legends like The Undertaker, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton. He's been part of the DX Generation team, and now he's currently running NXT while his best friend Triple H is running Monday Night Raw as the CEO. Been former World Heavyweight Champion, Tag Team Champion, you name it all, won the Royal Rumble. I'm talking about the one and only HBK Shawn Michals. 35 years celebrating him in the WWE. That's what was the big thing, the big celebration. I mean, could you imagine 35 years of dominations? I mean, there's so many things you could do in a year, let alone adding on top of it for over 3 decades. So I just thought that was really cool to put that out there because he is the CEO of NXT, and we always talk about Raw and SmackDown. Sometimes we throw in NXT if it relates to Raw and SmackDown or a superstar that may have been on their comeback or something like that. So I just want to throw that out there, and that was cool to watch, to enjoy, and obviously one of the Hall of Famers and the legendaries, and made fun memories, dominating memories, and one super kick that nobody else could do it like the great Shawn Michaels. With that being said, we're going to roll it over into the next one. Now, the Pretty Deadly I was talking about, who's been on the bump, is why I was mentioning so much about the Pretty Deadly. Then we had Raquel, former NXT champion, one half of the Tag Team Women's Champion, now a 2-time Tag Team Women's Champion with her best friend Liv Morgan since she's returned to back on Friday Night SmackDown along her side, who was on this past bump. Kevin Patrick, who was on Av Character. Now, I've been thinking he's doing a good job. He's been on after the, he's been from WWE exclusive, checking out interviews and, getting people in there. And then he's on commentary with Corey Graves and now on After the Bell with Corey Graves on After Character. I think he's doing a fabulous job. He's welcome to the team, and he's only been there for a short time, but he's already rolling. Like I said, with the year, you could do so much in. So, like, time is money, right? You could do so much in that time. And that's exactly what he's doing and what he's been doing since day one. So, this is what I was going to show you before I got into that. This is a little bit of NXT and after WWE. So, and some other, of course, videos of me out here. The attack of Tommaso from The Miz. Tommaso beats The Miz, so The Miz had attacked Tommaso from behind. That's why Tommaso was dominating him in that qualification match before Reed got involved and allowed him to win. And you already know the tag team was pretty deadly domination on SmackDown. I was talking about along with the Usos on SmackDown's tag team. Everybody loves Mommy on NXT returning. First ever NXT Women's Champion. Now Women's Champion and run the Royal Rumble dominated with the Judgment Day. Why wouldn't they? And here's the Gudgel tag team match. Sinaville and Chelsea Green, I mean, they dominate all 3 rounds of that Gudgel match. And now on the way to become tag team women's champions again. I mean, they won it and they put out the strategies, pulled out the strings and achieved. Yeah, Finn Balor attacking Seth Rollins, but of course there was a chance Seth Rollins not letting him get away with that, destroying him the next following Raw to make up for it. Including Trish Stratus, a Hall of Fame legendary, helping out Zoe Starks, who also got a win over one of the horsewomen, Becky Lynch. I mean, she's living a life right now. One of the breakout superstars of Monday Night Raw, Zoe Starks. Miz TV always an A-lister at the mic as he has his own show. Former, 6-time Intercontinental Champion, WWE Champion, Mr. Money in the Bank. Matt Riddle getting injured on that foot before it all started, but of course getting his friends after that with Drew McIntyre by his side, getting the victory in the tag team match, including tagging for trying to get the best of him. Kevin Owens in with the Imperial as Intercontinental Champion with the Raw and SmackDown Champions and allegations that was gonna let that slide within the moment. And our main event. And that would be the end of that. I want to wrap that up right there and then. Now, we have an AEW on here. I want to mention over 20 years. The Rated R superstar Edge returning to Madison Square Garden, and he said 25 years. WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champions, Hall of Famer, legendary, who's done it all. Returning the Royal Rumble and then dominating. What was that? 2018 he returned. After they said he would never wrestle again with the 2 neck injuries, and then he returns in 2018 with the Royal Rumble, and then comes back and still dominates on Friday Night SmackDown, a part of the Raw SmackDown roster. And now celebrating 25 years since he's Madison Square Garden that he was talking about with the Hall of Fame legendary Rated R superstar Edge, that nobody could do it like him, who can get extreme and still come out on top at the end of the day. I mean, he realized, he says, hey, well, you know what? No putting me on a pedestal on a camera. We're all human beings at the end of the day. If I want to get a little rowdy out here, that's what I'm going to do and act a little wild, because that's exactly what we are and that's exactly what we do. I mean, why sugarcoat it, right? Why act like you don't do this or that when you do, and behind doors and act another way when you come out here on camera? Then you should sign up for an acting job. So no other than the Rated R Superstar Edge celebration. He is the dominating, I think the best of rivals that he's had with Edge and John Cena has had best of rivals. His tag team, of course, him and Rated RKO, Randy Orton, was the best tag team and was the best of rival, and he's at his best on SmackDown right now. That's my opinion. Best version, rival, and tag team partner. You decide. So this is the rest of that, wrapping it up. But I threw in some AEW. You had Jericho and Sting face to face. You had CM Punk return to AEW, and they were, big parts of wrestling too. So I just want to throw that in there in this one. My new updated videos and pictures and podcasts and videos. I updated the titles and the pictures of my music. If you guys are interested, check out our rap videos. Most of my interviews, podcasts like this one, entertainment, acting, snippets, things like that. You would go and do exactly that what I was talking about. So it really adds up and really matches. Say new update. Most of you guys like watching my fan or hater, and I really like that one too, including my CEO and my new one I just dropped. I share that in my other podcasts though. You have to subscribe and like, and on the screen you should have an update. You know, you'll see them on next podcast. It's awesome. It's great. And don't forget also either sign up for thing freeze cards like this. Who's now Mercedes Monet. Mercedes. I don't know if you see that hat over in the corner. Mercedes Monet. Or you could buy the black and gold. My favorite color. Well, my favorite color is red and blue, but I'm saying this is the best color on the card. EST. Yeah, it's a little bit long, a little bit way to get to the point. You know, so the point of that was just updating the photos and the titles of my rapping videos for those of you who already subscribed and was like getting to enjoy that because I dropped the new one, you know, like CEO. I know a lot of you guys been watching that one, and that's one of my favorite ones too. Or fan or hater, that's one of my favorite ones, and a couple other ones after album playlist. So that's what I was talking about. That's what I was doing with mixed in emotions, is sad or angry or fast or slow. We're just getting to the point in the realization. I wanted to just show a little bit of a updation on the title and lyrics on the title of what I was talking about per each song or list. So that's what you saw, you know, a lot of that along with the A&W I was talking about with Chris Jericho face to face once in a lifetime with Sting type of thing. You know, kind of like what they did when they had WrestleMania with Triple H and Sting in the ring. An OMG moment that you just have to be there to believe it. Or see it with your own eyes, to believe it, to see it, to visualize it. So that's what that one's all about. This one, only one thing about. Yeah, Big Time Bex as well, and After the Bell. Former Raw Women's Champion, former SmackDown Women's Champion, won Royal Rumble, dominated in the Money in the Bank. May not have won, but she dominated the Money in the Bank. All that training really paid off. And now on the Raw roster as Big Time Bex, who main evented WrestleMania, beating two women at the same time, Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Becoming Big Time Bex, earning that title, earning that name, why we call her that, why we celebrate the fire redhead Big Time Bex, who was on After the Bell. I can talk more and more and more every day about former NXT Women's Champion, one of the dominating horsewomen. I could talk about her all night and all day. There's so much things that Becky Lynch has done that I like, that I respect, and why I am a Big Time Bex fan. Nobody can do it or say it quite like Big Time Bex. And that is exactly why I had to put it out there like I was talking about South Rollins. Now it's over to Big Time Bex, and particularly because those are the favorites that's been around for a long time and that are still around the WWE, dominating, destructive, and it's like they never left. They never, you know, It's not one that's been there for a while and now isn't there anymore, like John Cena or The Rock. They're great superstars, they're great Hall of Famer legendaries, right? But they aren't there anymore. That is until John Cena returns to the Money in the Bank. See, he's still hanging around, he's still here. Or like, we talk about like Randy Orton, okay, he's not here now, but Rey Mysterio is still here. So it's like the thin wrestlers versus the now wrestlers, and it's like, well, I grew up watching this, this, and this, so it's like to see who's around. Like we grew up watching John Cena, right? I grew up watching John Cena. He comes back, returns at the Money in the Bank, never lost a beat. Attitude of Justin Grayson Ryler. I don't know if that was an open mic for him because it really wasn't his show. He didn't do a show or anything, but that's what the outcome was. And then you had the rated R superstar Edge, again with the rival and the talking about with him and John Cena and 25 years celebrating Madison Square Garden, still around on the SmackDown roster. I was talking about Seth Rollins running on Monday Night Raw and Roman Reigns running on SmackDown. Those are the newcomers growing up, and you still have the growing up ones still there. You still have the newcomers there combining together and sharing that same ring and that same energy at the same time as well. So that's what I'm talking about. What I wanted to get the point to, because that means that what it brings me to Becky Lynch on After the Bell is because she's one of those that's built NXT on her back, becoming one of the horsewomen, and now she's still there as big time Becky, somebody now Raw dominating. And Zoe Starks, speaking of Zoe Starks, and because big time Bex is, in the mixture with Zoe Starks and Trish Stratus, Zoe Starks has got to be living a happy, luckiest wrestling life on earth right now because she is getting to be a friend or alliance or tag team with the Hall of Fame legendary Trish Stratus. Now, she's already been NXT Women's Champion. She's already been NXT Tag Team Women's Champion. She's already been in her first pay-per-view when she came at Night of Champions, and she's got to be on Monday Night Raw with the Hall of Fame legendary Trish Stratus, six-time Women's Champion. She's already gotten to get that friendship with her and already had her open mic, on her own without her when Trish Stratus was on the mat. It's like, this is your time now to get on your feet without her and show what dominate you are. And now she's beaten one of the horsewomen, big time Bex. She's got to be living her happiest life right now. I think Zoe Starks is a great outbreak superstar on Monday Night Raw. And I would love to be in her shoes right now. Because that, I don't know how it can get any better than that. There's so many great things and moments that could happen and that appear, but not quite like that. All in one. Zoe Starks is a great Monday Night Raw breakout character. She's living a dream right now. Like I was talking about with Theory as United States Champion on SmackDown right now. Beating the legendaries and, championships I was talking about. So now, with that being said, I just had to hit out with my chest because that is awesome. Let's wrap up the rest of this for the SmackDown. This is my predictions. And that subscribe button on it. Follow me on Instagram and YouTube. You already know what it is. I'm gonna do my Friday Night SmackDown with the Usos and the Bloodline pretty much tearing main event and headlining, ruling SmackDown like the Judgment Day does Raw. Until that apart, this is just a little bit rapping again. Krazy came in the shower, doing her thing, spitting the lyrics when she wake up like this. This is how she do when she big on the list. You can't stop me when I reach to the top. You can't get on my level when I hit street. I'm about to speak this in a brief. A little bit of rapping every day, just in the shower, just rapping about the predictions of SmackDown in the shower, and then actually SmackDown over the reality. The Usos getting the best of Roman Reigns, as the Usos always have each other back since day one. And J. Cole being the voice of reason on commentary. So in XT Johnson, Chandler Grayson Wallace talking about a great Dutch show on SmackDown, and and also the Usos against Solo as well, and particularly, outside of them versus Roman Reigns, because it's a long time coming between that right there. That's a whole long history you gotta talk about with Roman Reigns in there. They've been in there for 4 decades. And you had people like the Usos, that Rikishi, right, who's been dominating in that ring, and now you got them doing the same thing. That's a whole nother story. I talk about it all the time with the Usos and the Bloodline and Seth Rollins. I mean, they are the main characters, main headlights of what's going on, though. So I talk about it a lot because it makes sense of what's going on in the process. And it's so much to say that you just can't get everything out in such little time. It's like you can write a damn book or watch a whole damn movie. Oh, that's right. The Usos do have a Netflix movie on the Usos right now in the 24 with Roman Reigns and the Shield right now. You have a 24 Roman Reigns, a 24 Seth Rollins, a Raw and SmackDown with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns both ruling them, and 24 with the Shield with them. And now you got the Usos on Netflix, and the Usos who's in a exclusive interview just about them in particularly and their wrestling careers, and so many tag team matches and collaborations with like the New Day and ladder matches that they have been in, and tag team champions belts of both Raw and SmackDown that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are. So there's so much to say about each individual and together. So this is my getting kind of crammed up, so I'm trying to swoop through here a little bit. Didn't realize it was gonna be so long. Just want to celebrate the 30th birthday of my favorite Ryan, taking a trip to to my parents and my family, and how Corey Graves like my comedy, my favorite commentary. I wanted to mention a little bit of things outside of there. And this would be the rest of the updated injury I was talking about with the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins from the ribs after the attack from Finn Balor, but didn't work with winning Dominico defeated Dust from Rhea Ripley and got revenge on Finn Balor at Money in the Bank, including Camilla having his side on the NXT, having his back along with Twitch from anybody else that thought or try to get involved in that situation. So that's all we have today. Your host Queen Krazy K had fun. Be sure to not only watch, but like, follow, and subscribe on Instagram and YouTube. And I will see you guys next time. Queen Krazy K is out. Peace.